I can teach you how to get rich and happy in 15 minutes. Not sure why no one told me this in accounting, but here we go. Too many people let their past dictate who they are today and what they're capable of tomorrow. They say, I grew up poor, so I guess I'm not good with money. In order to be happy and successful, you need to stop pointing fingers at everyone else and start pointing the finger back at yourself. Maybe they drive a nicer car, wear nicer clothes, have a bigger house. But those things don't make them better than you. A BMW doesn't make them smarter than you. A Rolex doesn't make them kinder than you. A mansion doesn't make them funnier than you. Stop comparing your insides to their outsides and you'll realize you're better off than you think. Because the truth is, you're not as smart as you think you are. They fall victim to the status quo bias, which means they prefer the way things are to the way they could be. Instead of learning a new skill to increase their income, they default to what they already know. Instead of investing in themselves, they invest in complacency. It takes discipline and it takes a willingness to learn and grow. Don't let your story define you. Take control of your life and start building the future you want. You only get one shot at this, so make it count. Look, education isn't just for kids. It's a lifelong journey. As Warren Buffett says, the more success you have, the more you need to learn. The world is constantly changing. New industries are emerging. Old ones are disappearing. You can't afford to stop learning if you want to get ahead. You're not as talented as you think you are. Well, it starts with understanding that money isn't everything. It's not the purpose of life, but it does make your life easier. It gives you options. It allows you to pursue your dreams. So don't think of money as a bad thing. Embrace it. Think of it as a tool to create the life you want. Next, you need to focus on providing value. Rich people don't think about themselves. They think about how they can serve others. They ask themselves, how can I add value to the world? How can I make a positive impact? Once you start thinking in terms of value, you'll start seeing opportunities everywhere. Finally, adopt a growth mindset. This is the belief that you can improve your skills and abilities through hard work and practice. Poor people have a fixed mindset. They believe that intelligence and ability are things you're born with. So if you want to be rich, you need to adopt a growth mindset. Believe that you can improve, that you can grow, that you can achieve anything you set your mind to. And you're not as screwed as you think you are. Just get over yourself. The people you surround yourself with will either lift you up or drag you down. So be very careful about who you spend your time with. I'm not saying you should ditch your old friends, but be mindful of who you're spending your time with. Make sure they're positive influences. If your friend group is full of negative Nancys, it's time to move on. Find new friends. Find people who inspire you, who motivate you to be your best self. Here's the thing, no one cares about your problems. Most successful people have someone they look up to, some kind of role model. But when you're happy and rich, you realize it's all one big misunderstanding. It's what separates the haves from the have-nots. Look, if you want to get rich, you need to develop an unstoppable willpower. And you can do that by focusing on one word, discipline. Discipline turns goals into reality. It allows you to stick to a plan. It helps you resist temptation. And it gives you the strength to carry on when you're exhausted, drained, and beaten down. But you can't be lazy and expect to get rich. You can't be indisciplined and expect to become successful. So shut up, Netflix. No more late-night internet surfing. No more video games. Oh, you're too tired to hit the gym. Discipline. You're broke and you still can't pay attention long enough to read a book. Discipline. You keep starting new side hustles but you never finish them. Discipline. Do it now. Do it later. It doesn't matter. Just do it. The truth is, everyone wants to help you. Everyone wants you to succeed. So build bridges, not walls. Trust me, there are far more good people in this world than bad. Now, I'm not talking about the Kardashians or people who got famous for being famous. I'm talking about real heroes, people who've accomplished something that you want to accomplish. The sooner you stop looking outside yourself for solutions, the sooner you'll find the answers inside. Ask yourself, how does this situation make me feel? What am I going to do about it? How will I change my behavior next time? Blaming others won't fix your problems. Taking responsibility will. Or my parents never had enough money, so I understand where they're coming from. Or we had so much debt when I was a kid, I don't trust banks. Listen, your story doesn't make you. It's just a story. I've heard every sob story under the sun. Let me tell you something. Life is tough. It's full of challenges. And if you were dealt a bad hand, learn to play the hand you were dealt. It might even make you a better poker player. There's no victim Olympics. You didn't choose your parents, but you chose to stay poor by making poor choices. If you want to be wealthy and happy, take responsibility for your story instead of letting it be your crutch. Your story doesn't make you, but your choices do. You ready? 1. Own your story. 2. Don't waste your time hating the rich. Look, if you're poor and you hate the rich, you're playing the blame game. You're living in the victim Olympics. And I know exactly the type of person you are. You think all rich people are evil. You think they got that way by stepping on other people. You wish the government would tax them more so they could help you. Yeah, well, guess what? The rich aren't evil. There are some jerks, sure. But most rich people became wealthy because they made other people's lives better, and they made money doing it. They weren't born with silver spoons. They earned it. Stop wasting your time being jealous and hateful. Start learning from them. 3. Stop blaming others for your problems. 4. Get over yourself. It's easy to look at someone else's success and feel like they're better than you. 5. Find a hero. 6. Build bridges, not walls. When you're poor, you tend to think everyone is out to get you. 7. Develop an unstoppable willpower. Willpower is the difference between a life of poverty and a life of plenty. 8. Become a lifelong learner. The main reason poor people stay poor is because they stop learning. They get stuck in a rut. 9. Adopt a rich mindset. If you want to be rich, you need to think like one. What does that mean? 10. Surround yourself with the right people. Your network is your net worth. That's what they say, and it's true. Look, becoming rich and happy is within your reach. But it takes effort.